Got this now. I got this now. Hi everyone. Sorry, there was one button I forgot to click and it was go live. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Welcome to the live and everything. Can you guys hear me? Is it all good? One second, I might need to change the mic here because for some reason it's going out. Let me just see here. Okay, I switched to a different mic. Hi, hey Tez. Can you hear me just fine? Is it all good? Um, okay, excellent, excellent. We're just gonna give everyone a few minutes to come in and stuff. Welcome to the live, everyone. I'm just gonna tweet this out, that I am live right now. I had to switch mics because the other one just stopped on me for some weird reason. Um, they keep going out, but someone really doesn't want me to say any truth, but that's what it feels like. As long as you guys can hear me, it's fine. Even if the mics go out, I'm just going to, let me just see. I'm learning how to do all this stuff. So welcome to the live. So today we are going to be, continuing our conversation about Daveigh Chase. I'm just tweeting out on Twitter right now. And I was debating whether we were going to do a few other things and everything, but I feel like we're just going to focus on the Daveigh Chase thing today. There are a few things regarding the Nickelodeon stuff that was brought to my attention. I feel like I'm going to write a thread about this too. There is a situation going on with a Nickelodeon star that I want to address, and soon, and it's going, which is because it's just been brought to my attention. I am trying to learn what actually is happening with that in terms of that. And yeah, we're gonna dive on that a little bit, but today I think we're gonna just cover Daveigh Chase and everything, and a bit further, and because there are some new things that have come out about that in regards to the mother and stuff. And yeah, so we'll just give people a few minutes and stuff to come in and everything. I hope you guys are doing well. In the meantime, I do want to address a few things as well. Just some updates I want to let you guys know and everything is I have we're gonna go to the window here. Let me just give me a second. Let me switch to window. Okay, so let me turn this on and then this. Okay, so as you can see, I do have a Patreon here. If you guys want to sign up, you can sign up for free. I'm going to start posting stuff there. So if you want early access to new videos, new content, whatever the case may be and stuff, you might want to go to this. That's the exact link and everything to access the Patreon. I'm going to be posting for early access on there of different stories. I'm also going to do requests, like exclusive Patreon requests, but you have to be a Patreon member if you want me to cover a certain story or a certain episode of something. Just let me know and everything. So that's a whole thing in itself as well. And let's just see what's going on here. And then I also want to address the, oh, sorry, I should not even be doing that. Let me just turn that off for a second. And then I want to also address I have a PayPal if you want to, this one right here. This is the PayPal if you want to donate or anything. This is the PayPal me, so I'll put that in for you guys as well. So there's that stuff as well, just in case. Do I need to turn up the volume on the mic? Did it go out? Because I feel like it went out. Okay, that's... The mic is doing something that's just like, why is it doing that right now? Can you guys... I just pulled the mic out. Can you guys hear me better this way without the mic? Let me know while I do this and stuff. Because can you guys hear me right now? Okay, wait, I found a new way to put in the mics. Okay, is this okay now, would you say? Let me know. Let me know if this is okay right now. Because, oh, why does it keep doing that? Maybe I have two and I just need one or something. Okay, because the mic is on obs. See, like it's going down and then up and then up. And then it's like I'm at max volume right now, which is interesting. So I'm just like, I'm like, what's going on? If I can turn that up further. Okay, that's better. Okay, perfect. Okay, excellent. Okay, so we're on the right track with this sort of thing. Okay, let me... Okay, we have that. We have this. Did we check the window? So, welcome to the chat if you're here. I feel like we're just covering Daveigh Chase today, so we're gonna do a little more of diving into that and everything. And it might be an internal setting. Okay. It's okay, it's not bad or anything. Okay, perfect. I know that there's always like a technical difficulty thing. It just keeps these mics might need like to be recharged or something. So that might be the situation. I don't... Oh wait, this is how you plug it in. Maybe if I just plugged it in like this. One second. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, yeah, it just needed to be charged is all. So we're gonna use can you still hear me though? Is it okay now? Like, I just need to recharge. I didn't realize the mics needed to be charged. So as long as it's okay and you can hear me, then I should be fine. But I guess we'll just start on going through Daveigh Chase and stuff and see how that goes and everything. I know that being shadow band's a thing with me, so that could also be playing a thing because I was saying too much last time. And by the way, I just want to thank you guys for reaching out. I was safe from the situation with the fire, so I appreciate that. So I appreciate that, but we're still here. We're still gonna speak some truth. We're gonna still say it for what it is and everything. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started on this right now. We'll deep dive and thrive, as we know. So let me just pull that up as we speak with Daveigh Chase. And as you know, Daveigh Chase was the voice actress for Lilo and Stitch. She passed away last month, unfortunately, from the disease of AIDS, and which is really tragic and everything, and was way too young. And there's a lot of like suspicion with her passing. And I do want to read an article about it. There was something I want to bring up is that there are conflicting stories with the manager, with the boyfriend, with the family that I want to bring to people's attention today and everything. And we will definitely talk about that. Um I'm gonna get this all. I'm gonna read you guys what People Magazine says, and she was also in The Ring, another film she was in, but she was mostly known as Lilo and Stitch. Which, again, with these voice actors and actresses, we do not ever um, see how they look and everything. We do not see how they look. And so I did not know that this is who Lilo played, to be quite honest with you. And it's kind of shocking because she's been not present in the industry for since 2016 and not present on social media since about 2016, 2017. Because we think like 2016 and 2017 is from um, it's from like 5 years ago, but really it's been 10 years in a lot of ways, which I get, but it's just tragic. And there's another situation I want to bring up about about a Nickelodeon star. And then there was something else that was brought to my attention that was very similar to this that I didn't that we're not going to talk today about, but we're going to bring it to. It's very similar to this at some point that I want to address and talk about. So, yeah, this is Daveigh Chase. She was 36 when she passed away. Too young, too young. I want to read the article, and I want us to really think about how we're gonna question everything here, and this is all alleged with what we're about to discuss. There are a lot of alleged things. These are not fact by any means. I'm not saying it's fact, just to be very clear. So if anyone's trying to like disconnect me right now, like that, just so you know, I'm saying the word alleged. I'm saying the word alleged. so we're just to make us all feel comfortable here, even though but um, but there's a lot of things today where we should be questioning it, and it is fair to question it with the world we live in today. Epstein has proven that. So we should be questioning this from all ends of people covering things up, people offing people off, and just not having clear reports on death experiences, especially with child stars. Kiana Underwood, as we covered before, had that similar situation. So, yeah, let's get into this article. I'm just making sure I have my thing there. Okay, that is perfect. And we're going to read this. So, the Ring star Daveigh Chase, cause of death revealed. Chase, who voiced Lilo and Stitch, died on June 16th at age 35. Daveigh Chase's cause of death has been revealed as acquired of AIDS. And the former child star was known for her role in The Ring and voicing Lilo and Stitch. Died at 35 years old on June 16th. At Los Angeles Medical Examiner's report listed her cause of death as AIDS, with other significant conditions including chronic polysubstance use. So there was a mixture of things in there. There was a mixture of things. And when we get to the boyfriend, I have some things I want to question regarding that as well. But it's just weird that she's been gone. We haven't seen her in like so long, and she was missing, according to her family, for the longest time. And she's had a drug problem since the age of 13, which is something her family has stated publicly and stuff. Which it's very odd that a 13-year-old has a drug problem. And also something I want to bring up, and we're going to bring it up because she has some connection to Diddy. She met Diddy when she was around the age of 13 years old, that people don't know about. And I just wanted to put that out there as well. So interesting that she has a drug ABUSE problem at age 13. Like, and that was around the time she met Diddy. So does that all feel familiar to you guys? Does that feel familiar in a way? Like, does that all align? Just like answer, just like, yeah. Yeah, that's just, there's something about that. There's just something there about that that I think we can all put two and two together in a lot of ways. The latter is defined by the Cleveland Clinic as using more than one substance and following a pattern of use that affects your health and quality of life. So clearly, as it's been stated, and it's really just sad that that a lot of how she contracted AIDS was a mixture of things. It can be it can be SA mixed with drug ABUSE is very a common way on how those things occur in someone's body. And it's wild to me that even if she had that and she contracted that, there was nobody tried to get her medical help or anything of that nature, you know? And it's really sad. I'm like, we could, even people that have the disease of AIDS can still, they can still get help. They can still live a prosperous life. There's that child star from Who's the Boss that who was on The View. I remember on The View 10 years ago, and he came out and was speaking on there about his experience with AIDS and everything, and how he lives with it, and now he has, and how he's still living a fulfilling life and stuff. So, and he's older than Daveigh Chase. He's like in his 50s, I think, 40s or 50s now, which is wild. So, yeah, you can still live a prosperous life. So it's just weird that nobody, like, God help, I don't know if she knew she had it or if she even checked herself. I don't know what it is, but also something I also want to bring out is that it's the healthcare system in the US is a whole thing in itself. I would love to hear from my American audience what they think of the healthcare system, and would it be easy for someone to get tested for this in the States, even though the healthcare system isn't as free care or anything like that. So yeah, I just want to see the chat for a second. Yes, all good. Patterns. Yes, there is patterns here. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna continue here. Let me just go up a little bit. The medical report states that Chase died in a hospital and her manner of death was natural. TMZ was the first to report the former actress' death on June 17th. Why are they switching the dates? Why is there date switching? Because it said June 16th and then June 7th. See, and this is People Magazine. This is People Magazine. Did she pass away on June 16th? Did she pass away on June 17th? Do you see how this is like? And it's always with child. This is what they did with Kiana. There was no like clear report. Like, did she just die on June 16th or the 17th? Like, what was it? With her boyfriend, Roy Hernandez, telling the outlet at the time that she had died after she contracted meningitis and several serious blood infections. Hernandez shared more details about her health in a GoFundMe started while Chase was still receiving treatment, writing that her condition has become critical and doctors had told them she didn't have much time left. Okay, so she did receive treatment. It was just not publicly known enough. Because there was none of this came across my feed, and usually with things like this, it would have come across my feed, it would have come across Tesmosis's feed, it would have come, there's many people online that would have covered this, is all I'm saying. And I went into this last time on my my what do you call it? The last stream we did. We went over this a little bit. I actually, speaking of Roy Hernandez, let's take a look at that GoFundMe really quickly, and then we'll get right back to this. Okay, so I am gonna pull that article up. So, okay, so here's the GoFundMe. Here's the GoFundMe. Here it is. So this is the GoFundMe. There was this is Roy Hernandez, her boyfriend. This is who she was with. And I guess they've been together for the time she's been gone. $4,358 raised out of 5.5 thousand. That's interesting. Okay, let's just look at this. This is what they were making, and this was even after the fact. I think this was after the fact that this was still going after what happened with her and stuff. That's interesting. But my question is with this is so it's been discussed in the article, right, that she was using sorry, I'm just gonna make sure to check that that this is all good. Okay, we're all good. I just wanted to check. Yes, contradictions. And yes, still no follow-up with Kiana. Okay, I'm just checking with the chat here. Okay, so with that being said, what I want to say about this is that it's being reported in the People magazine that she passed away from AIDS, and she had a substance abuse ABUSE issue for long periods of time now. I'm gonna get so shadow banned from the stream. I'm gonna get more shadow banned than shadow banned, but she's suffered with this problem since age 13, and she's still been doing this. And I want to ask, is Roy Hernandez part of that as well? Is my question. And what have these two been both homeless? Like, what is the situation here? And why has she disappeared for so long? You know, and I understand, here's the thing, I understand child stars who just want to get away from this industry, because let's be real, let's just all be real here. This industry is really, really a struggle. It is a struggle. It's survival of the fittest, truthfully. Especially when you're in this as a child, and you're a child you have to function into an adult system, a very adult system. It's not a system that is geared for children at all. It is not all fun and games, you know, and you have to grow up really quickly in a lot of ways. And Daveigh Chase is one of those people that had to do it, which is why I get how they get down these rabbit holes. I want to know, though, who introduced her to the substance ABUSE, the substances and stuff, and the drugs and everything. Because it's funny that, again, goes back to Diddy. She knew Diddy at age 13. She met Diddy at age 13 at an award show. Interesting that everything that Diddy touches turns to, you know, this. So I'm just saying, you guys can fill in the blanks here. So I just wanted to bring that point, and usually people who can't break that, who don't go into rehab, who don't take steps to do that, tend to live with that for long periods of time, and they attract people who are like, who is this? How can I, you know, it can attract certain types of people, you know? But that's just my opinion. Like, why didn't you just like, well, I don't want to judge it though, because again, we do not know Roy Hernandez personally, but I'm just saying that there's a lot, there's a circle here. There's a circle of suspicion with this whole thing. And yeah, and I'm just like wondering, where does that money go now? Where does that money go now? You know? So there's that. Let's just keep reading the article. Okay, let's go back to this. So there was the GoFundMe. We had that. Let me just pull this up. I'm gonna take that down. Okay, so that was the GoFundMe. So following her death, Chase's former manager and longtime friend, John Ryan, urged fans not to donate to the fundraiser. Here's where the conflicting part comes in, claiming that Chase estate has plenty of means to pay for the cremation, and her father, John Swaller, has never signed any paperwork over this so-called boyfriend. The GoFundMe is not going to any expenses for Daveigh, he continued. Myself, her father, her uncle, and all of us close friends who knew her for decades are encouraging people not to donate to this page. This man making these claims brought her into the hospital in terrible condition and didn't let any of the family know until she passed, so he can control the dialogue. After a successful career as a child, Chase stepped away from the spotlight, walking her last carpet in 2013. The actress's final years from the spotlight were difficult as she struggled with a serious addiction problem and was living on Los Angeles Skid Row. Okay, and let's just read this last part. It's such a tragedy, her friend Sean Rosenthal, who says he was close to Chase from 2018 to 2023. Okay. She's an incredible singer, and we would play music together that unfortunately we never had a chance to record. I wound up getting clean in 2023, which is why I haven't seen her since then. Okay, there's a few things I have to say about this. He adds, some of her sober friends and I were trying to find her and get her help, but to no avail. She was surrounding herself with the worst of the worst people. It's such a tragedy because no one cared for her best interest at all. He says, I pray she's just finally at peace. So there we're just gonna go back to this. Okay, we're just gonna go back to this. I need to see the chat here. Okay. Yes, 100. Still no follow-up with Keon. Okay. We're all caught up. There is no... Welcome to the chat, everyone who's here, by the way. What's really irritating about a lot of this is I feel that it's a situation where people knew something, but they weren't loud enough when they spoke. And there are, okay, I do also get that she is a public person. I 100% understand that and everything. And there is certain levels of, everyone deals with a situation differently, right? But what's frustrating about this, and we talked about her manager last time. We did talk about her manager and how he was starting something for a Finding Lilo documentary, and nobody heard anything about this. Nobody heard anything about this. And then he's saying people do not donate to this GoFundMe, yet at the same time, he was doing a Finding Lilo documentary and did not make a loud enough noise. Now, if you're making a documentary that's a public piece of work, wouldn't you want to make a noise with that a little bit? Wouldn't you want to go to some of these pages that specialize in vocalizing child stars a bit and just amplifying their voice a little bit, like you know what I mean? Like um it's just there's a lot of things that are really oh, there's a lot of love coming in. Okay, that's great. There's just it's something that I feel, if you're gonna be loud, if you're gonna already make a documentary prior to this happening, you should have made some noise prior, so we could have been watching over this a little more carefully, and maybe there could have been a different circumstance, is all I'm saying. So that's the frustrating part about it. What's interesting, I think the most I do think it is suspicious that the boyfriend didn't um that the boyfriend didn't even reach out to the family, but I don't know what her relationship was like with her family. I don't know if it was what household she grew up in. Clearly, if there's something with the family that she's trying to avoid, um, she might be, there might be something that is there that we just don't know about, and we'll never know about. We'll never know her story, her side of the story, just like we'll never know Kiana Underwood's side of her story. And I don't know if she told anyone her side of the story ever, of what her household was like growing up, because clearly there is some sort of dysfunction there. And yeah, like that, it's just crazy. And the thing that it stood out to me most about that article is her friend Sean, who was part of that circle, clearly, and it's a circle of drug users, and it's a circle of what do you call it? Circle of drug users, and circle of, like, I'm gonna even go as saying, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but human traffickers is what I'm alluding to. Because usually drug users, human traffickers, they all are in the same thing. And why I'm saying that is because she contracted AIDS. So it's not a far-fetched thing. It's not a far-fetched thing. And I do want to give an update, though. We have another article I want to that I find interesting, but I'm just like, this, it's so, it's a situation where you can't trust anyone, truthfully. And so that's why this is frustrating, but I'm just like, okay, it's gonna go this, because what's also interesting is there was a lot of what's interesting about Daveigh Chase is there was also a lot of her residual money, because Disney gives residual money, Nickelodeon doesn't. Shout out to Disney. That's a whole different conversation for a different day, but I'm glad Disney people get their residual money. Because we all know about Keely Williams and the Cheetah Girl. She's always advertising on Instagram about watch Cheetah Girl so she can get her residual money. So we know Disney Channel gives residual money, and Disney in general gives residual money, but Nickelodeon doesn't. But for Lilo and Stitch, especially when it's Lilo and Stitch franchise, and she wasn't catching in those checks, where is all that money going to? So it must be going somewhere. And I don't know, like, why she wouldn't catch in her checks. I don't know if she might be a very anti-capitalist capitalist person, because she's seen what money has done to her, truthfully, as well. Because it says a lot. It says a lot. Maybe she saw how evil money can be and stuff, and she was like, I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of that. But I want to that's some of the things that could be happening as well. Again, we could never truly know, but I do want to bring up this article. This is from The Hollywood Reporter, and it says Daveigh Chase's mother seeks control of late actress $400,000 estate. And this was just the other day. This was on July 14th. This is just the other day. So the mother of late actress Daveigh Chase is seeking to become the administrator of her estate after it was revealed that the Lilo and Stitch voice performer had left behind $400,000. Chase died in a hospital on June 16th of complication from AIDS after spending years living unhoused around downtown Los Angeles, Skid Row area, and while struggling with drug addiction. According to documents submitted on July 8th in Los Angeles County Superior Court, the actor had an estimated $400,000 in personal property at the time of her death, but had no will. Kathy Chase Hermile has now filed a petition with the court to be appointed administrator of the estate. A probate hearing to determine if this will move forward has been scheduled for August 12th in Los Angeles Superior Court, according to court documents. And then it says Daveigh Chase was best known for voicing Lilo Pleakley in 2002 Disney animated hit, as well as Samara Morgan in horror film The Ring. Her cause of death was listed as AIDS-related complication with chronic polysubstance use, noted as another significant condition. Okay, and this is what she told Daily Mail. Kathy Chase, after her daughter's death, told Daily Mail that a motorcycle accident left her with back pain that she began treating with opioids. This led her down a dark path of drug abuse. She was seeking drugs, was partying with the wrong people, she told the Mail. I never kicked my daughter out. She wanted freedom, and these people got her hooked on drugs. That was the beginning. So does anyone know if, like, Daveigh Chase's mother and father are together? Because they've said two different reports. The only way this makes sense is if she had this motorcycle accident when she was 13. Because her dad said that she started drug using at age 13. And but when was this motorcycle accident? Does anyone in the chat perhaps know or have an article on this of when this was? And then her mother also denied that any estrangement existed between her and Daveigh, but you guys couldn't find her for 10 years, right? But a GoFundMe posted by Roy Hernandez, a man who says he was her boyfriend, painted a different picture, stating she had been diagnosed with meningitis and several serious blood infections. Behind the scenes, she faced more than her share of hardships. After a difficult childhood and a painful falling out with her family, Daveigh was bullied and struggled to find safety and happiness in downtown LA. Okay, we're gonna go back to this. What? See, this is so frustrating. This is so frustrating because nobody is keeping a straight story here. There is no straight story. There is no straight story here at all with any of these people. I don't know what truthfully is the truth here, and only Daveigh knows. And that's the most frustrating part about this, is like how we don't know what's really happened with Kiana Underwood and stuff, you know? So it's just frustrating with that and everything. Okay, Tez, you couldn't find the motorcycle accident. Like, there's no report on this. Like, when did this motorcycle accident happen? Because her dad is saying she had a drug use at age 13. That's when it started. That's when she met Dave. That's around the time she met Diddy. I'm making that Diddy connection just because. But when was this motorcycle accident? Like, we're gonna really need to dig through the archives on that, and just like I'm like, there must be if she was in a motorcycle accident, there has to be a police report somewhere, is all I'm saying. Because those types of things get reported even by like local people. So I don't know why that would not be on the radar at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I and then also her boyfriend saying that she had um a big falling out with her family. I think it's very clear she had a big falling out with her family if they didn't know about all this stuff, because there seems to be a lot of they don't know, and the mother seems to be saying she never had a real falling out. So I don't know what they need to. There's no detail. It's very loose. It's very like just, it's very to the point. And it's like, if the frustrating part is there's a lot of talk about the money, and now they're trying to claim the money, and that's the most I've seen about it, really. The only person where I felt there was there's do you notice how there doesn't feel to be like a human response to this? It's more about like worried about GoFundMe's. It's worried about where the money is going. And I get there are financial assets that need to be dealt with here. I understand it. There is a big money to be done, and I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know what the answer is to that specifically, so I understand the petition. I do understand it to a degree. But what's weird is that nobody's really talking about her in any of these articles I'm reading, truthfully, that that it's all about the money stuff. The only person that I see that is talking about her in a very human way and like really just being like, we loved playing songs together, is her friend who used to be in this circle of drug abusing, drug using and stuff, and substance using and things like that, who got clean. That guy named Sean, who just last saw her in 2023. That's the only person who I see, and he's clearly not someone that's like notable or anything to the public in a way. So we don't know who that is. It's just someone that used to be part of that group that she was associated with on Skid Row, LA, which just it being, I have my feelings on Skid Row alone. Skid Row in LA and downtown Los Angeles. As someone who's been to downtown Los Angeles, if you're living in downtown Los Angeles or homeless in downtown Los Angeles, and even just things that I've experienced walking through downtown Los Angeles myself, you do not want to be walking in downtown Los Angeles alone, especially if you're a woman, a trans woman, or some type of minority group specifically. You do not want to be walking downtown. I actually, just for anyone, I don't think anyone should be walking downtown Los Angeles alone. Never mind being homeless in downtown Los Angeles or in like Skid Row, So just from my own experience. So I'm amazed. It makes sense. That's the part that makes sense to me on how this all happened. That it was like, okay, downtown Los Angeles, right? Which has a serious homeless problem as well. That always seems to get ignored. But yeah, I just found that really frustrating and everything. So it's really good. Hi Linda, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat and everything. Yeah, I just feel we're just those articles were really just sad to me to like listen to and stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. We love that. Welcome. That's so great. Um Also, we're just talking about Davy Chase. I am just frustrated at this point because um, it's just nobody's giving a straight answer, and nobody can truly like memorialize her publicly properly. It seems like, and I hope we get more answers. We'll keep you up to date on what's coming on June on it's what's the date? Let me look at this when the court date is. It's August 12th, I believe. August. Oh yeah, August 12th in Los Angeles County. Okay, so we'll keep up to date on that and everything. Um yeah, that was crazy. Let me just see here. So I wanted to that was what I was basically going by right now. I was going to bring up another situation. Do you guys think if I had a few minutes here to just let me just figure this out here. Okay, so we got the Hollywood Reporter thing. Good. So we went over that article. Actually we're not going to go over this today. I do want to tease some things with I want to talk to you guys about my Patreon a little bit. Yeah, none of them really knew her, it seems. That's true. Nobody knew her. It's again very much cloud of suspicion with this, and it's just like what is with this like what is it's just frustrating that like this was happening and nobody caught wind of this. And yeah, it's just tragic. It's so tragic. um I was gonna I want to also I do want to talk to you guys about something. So I'm gonna actually just show you guys something right now, just so we can go over some things. If you guys have missed this, I do have a Patreon now. This is the Patreon. It's Obscure Nick. I'm gonna just put a link in the thing here so you guys can see this. Let's just do this. Okay, so the Patreon is I'm going to be posting on Patreon now a lot for early access for videos, and I'm going to do exclusive things there. So the types of exclusive things I'm going to do is if you want me to speak about a certain topic or want me to deep dive into a certain episode of a certain show or a certain piece of media, you can go to the Patreon. Obscure Nick, it's just obscure without an I. As you can see, I posted things already there, but I have some content coming out on there. I have and we'll have extended conversations, but I'm gonna make a thing on there where I'm going to allow you guys to request if you are one of the Patreon people to if you guys have any specific requests, and I will gladly do that. If you're a member on my Patreon, I believe there's a free membership, but if you do the $5 membership, that's where I'm going to be doing the requests. And then I will also be releasing like the $20 and stuff for videos. I'm posting videos and early access to things there for a few weeks for certain things, for certain videos coming up and everything. Also, I want to I wanted to bring that up, but I also let's take that. Um, what I also wanted to bring up is the PayPal. If you want to donate to my PayPal right now, you can donate here. This is the link to donate it. All donations are appreciated. If you donated, let me know because let me look to see just to make sure. I think my email sends it to me anyway. So I'm just going to look just to make sure if anyone sent anything to me so I can make sure to shout you out. And if I don't get to you shouted out on this stream, I will get shouted out to you on another stream and stuff. Have you heard any of Davey's music? I think it's weird Disney never capitalized on that. I actually didn't even know she was making music. I only knew her as an actress. You know, what was her I don't know what her music was, and I would have liked to know what it was. Do you happen, Linda, do you happen to have or know of any of her music by chance? Because I would be interested in knowing a little more about that, and I would love to give that a listen, and I would love to talk about that and look into the material a little bit about that. Oh, really? Okay, let's, can we look at that for a second? Let me like where's her music? Where's her where can you find her music exactly? Like on YouTube. What's her YouTube channel so I can um see that because I'd be interested in seeing her music. Um I'm just looking at like her yeah, I'm just looking that up right now to see what that was. Oh, I actually okay, so I just looked on YouTube here and okay, I see what you're saying here. Like there's don't have a clue any she had original music for years and years and years and years. Okay, there's also something I want to just bring up on YouTube right now. We're going to go into YouTube. There's something that just came to me that I want to show you guys. And this is Diddy. Okay, we're not going to echo. Okay, so thank you cuz I would like to hear that. So this Diddy, so that I just found the clip of Diddy. And this was at the 2003 MTV Music Awards. Do you guys want to okay, I'm just going to show you guys what I'm looking at exactly. Just so we can see just so I can show you what this is. Let me pull up the window, take that. Let me just frame this so you guys can see that. Okay, I think, is that in frame? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Let me just make that smaller. Oh no, that's too small. Why is it going that way? Okay, is it like down here? Oh no, not this. Oh wait, okay, wait, I know how to do this. Sorry. I just figured how to do this. Sorry. I'm gonna do this. Okay. I oh my god. Okay, it's stretching. We're stretching it. That's right. Okay. So this is the clip of Davy Chase and at the 2003 MTV Music Awards, P. Diddy invites a young Davy Chase to an after party. Okay, let's look at this clip. Why is it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Why, why, why? Do you guys see that? Why? Let's just keep going. Why is he so? Why is she? Why is he so touchy with her? Oh no. He looks scared. She looks scared. She looks. She looks scared. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get out of that. 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 Um, that was. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? Did you guys actually hear that? Because that was. Um, it was that was crazy. That was crazy. Like she looked scared of him. She looked scared when she asked to come to the after party. Like she looked terrified. She looked terrified. She didn't look like she was like, you know, it was so that, and that she was like 13 at that time, pretty much. She was 13. So, yeah. Oh, so there's Brilliance Theory, Anything Goes by Daveigh Chase. If I play that, would I get copyrighted? Because I'm just like, I don't know, because you know how that is. So, I will listen to that music on my own time. I actually, okay, it's called Anything Goes by Daveigh Chase. Okay. Anything goes. What, so did you, okay, wait, Linda, did you listen to it? Because I just want to like, know, like, what's the vibe? Was this music that was made with Disney or anything? Or what was that? Because it's, what's the vibe of her music, would you say? I'm actually going to give you guys this, let me show you guys this. So this is the sorry, 1 second. This is called Anything Goes by Daveigh Chase. So you can look at it on this channel called Brilliance Theory. So I just wanted to bring that up to just let you guys know and everything. And that's what that is. So yeah, go check out that music. Let me know what you think. We can talk about that at some time. I wonder if it was like a Disney type music or what type of music it is, or if it's indie music. But it's interesting to know that she actually did pursue music and she did record music and stuff. So you know, and you know, I would love to just celebrate her work, truthfully, in a lot of ways. And when I get to season 10 of All That, because as you guys know, I'm doing the All That deep dive, I want to actually talk about a little bit about, I wanted to ask you guys, I know we're jumping topics here. I'm going to bring this into here. We're just going to put this in here. So if you didn't know, on the channel, I did an All That season 3 retrospective on the show and everything. What did you, is there any questions we have for that and stuff? Oh, it's more indie, but she was good and she deserved more. Oh, I like indie music. I like indie. I'd probably like it then. But yeah, I'll definitely check out the Daveigh Chase music and everything. But we will continue reporting on that. We'll give you guys update on that. But I do. Mighty Rex said apparently Puff had a case dismissed against him from a Jane Doe for assaults after an award show. That is, that is something. That is something. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Because it's definitely in a circle of things. Oh, people. Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh my god. That all makes sense now that you're telling me that. That makes so much sense. Wow, okay. Really interesting. But with that being okay, so that doesn't surprise me though, because there's a lot of things with speculating with Diddy, and that was from the year 2000, but suggests something could have happened to her in 2003. Okay, I'm gonna need to like research that a little bit more. I'm gonna put a note on that right now, just to look into that, and I'll we can connect some dots next time and stuff, and just because I'm not 100%, but that's just interesting to know. I do want to yeah, it's I do want to talk about I wanted to ask you guys if you guys watched the Nickelodeon All That retrospective yet on the channel. Because we're again talking about child stars that has passed on and stuff. I'll put a link to that right here so you guys can see that. And it's on the channel now. That's the link that I just put is the All That Season 3 retrospective. I'm doing an All That deep dive series on this channel, as some of you may or may not know. And we really deep dive into it, into a peak season of All That. This was it was very tumultuous because there were so many cast changes throughout this season, and it felt like a transitional season out of the old All That into a newer generation of All That, which I'm currently watching the 4th season of that. And we're really going over if this is truly a children's show or kids show. Should this be on Nickelodeon or should it not be? And there's a lot of questions with that, I know, and with Dan Schneider's behavior in general and the quiet on set of it all and everything. I wanted to, is there anything, if you watched that video, was there any questions you had, thoughts, feelings on All That Season 3, feelings on, you know, because this was the first season that Amanda Bynes was in, and Katrina Johnson was taken out, and Elisa Reyes was taken out, and Katrina Johnson, I know, was in the Quiet on Set documentary, and she spoke about how the producers thought she was too overweight and they made her want to lose weight between season 2 and 3, which is very hard on a young person at a 12-year-old and does a lot of mental damage. But luckily she's a very confident woman, but she's still, you know, she's speaking about it in a documentary. She's, you know, doing it. And what I found interesting in the documentary is that she said that she didn't tell anyone she did the documentary. Like, so there was clearly something there that she wanted to say that was brought up. Katrina Johnson is the one in the rainbow shirt here. And then there's Amanda Bynes in the middle, but Amanda Bynes pretty much replaced her because Katrina was known as the cute girl on there, the cute little girl. And then Amanda Bynes was the new cute girl. And something I wanted to add as well is that a lot of these All That actors were discovered at the Laugh Factory and in California. And like Angelique Bates was there, Amanda Bynes was there, Katrina was there. And what was funny is Katrina told Dan Schneider and Brian Robbins about Amanda Bynes being this funny girl at the Laugh Factory every single night. So it was just very interesting to me that was, that's how Amanda got in. And it's funny that Katrina Johnson suggested Amanda Bynes, not knowing that she would be replaced. So that was interesting to me. What was also interesting to me, and she's not in this photo, is there was a cast member named Trisha Dixon who was she was really she came halfway. She only did 6 episodes, and she was a featured player. She wasn't like I think she was like auditioning to be a cast member technically when they had those featured players. Nick Cannon was an example of someone who was a featured player and all that, and it was pretty much like a test to be a main cast member pretty much. So that's what they did a lot in the earlier seasons of All That. And then she became but the thing about Trisha Dixon is that she was gone after 5 or 6 episodes. She does return for 1 episode in season 4, which I mentioned that they don't mention her, or she never returns again after the last episode of season 3. But there is the one final appearance in season 4 at the beginning of season 4, which I currently just watch that episode, which you'll hear my thoughts on season 4 when we get to season 4. But what was interesting about Trisha Dixon is that she went by another name called Samantha Tebek. Like, she changed her name, which, from what I discovered, is that her Samantha Tebek is voice, because she does voice acting for anime, and I don't know if that was just a voice actress name for her in the anime world or whatnot. That's what I grasp. Or did something happen that she didn't want anything to do with the name Trisha Dixon anymore, and she didn't want people tracking her in a sense. So, because we don't hear much about her anymore, and I only found like a few Twitter things about her, but I want to know what her experience was like on all that. I'd be interested in to know that. So those were just my things on all that. Season 3. Yeah, it is sad about Amanda, but I don't know if you guys saw on my Twitter that I posted, but Amanda did the what do you call it? Let me just see her. Amanda did her videos and stuff, and she showed a video of her bags, and I was like, oh, those bags look actually cool. Like, there's a retro aesthetic to her bags that I really liked. So I hope she puts those out there, because those are cool. Those were really cool. Oh, you don't know? Okay, I'll just show you guys who Trisha Dixon is, since I'm learning how to do lives anyway. So I'll just show you who she is and stuff. Oh, I have to convert this. I'll just show you who she is. If you didn't watch the video, you won't know, but this is her. This is Trisha Dixon. She joined like after Katrina left, and then this is her now. And she goes by a name called Samantha Tebek and stuff. So this is her now, and this is who she is. But this was her on all that. This picture right here on the left. So, and she just joined mid-season, and then she just disappeared and never came back, and we don't hear anything about her. So I just want to know what that's about. That's all I'm saying. But if I don't know if you guys, she only had she didn't have a specific character on the show that I could say that was so distinct that was like, oh, you're going to remember it for sure. But it was just interesting that, oh, you've definitely seen her. I've just never made it through all that. Okay, so you know about her. Yeah, and it's fair if you don't know her name and stuff. And the episodes, they aired them out of order. Too. And I just want to know her story. I just want to know and I'm also watching let me just get you season 4 right now, because I am watching season 4 right now and stuff, and it's really the season 4 is really interesting. It definitely feels like a new show. I'm not going to tell you too much on my thoughts, but they have a lot of featured players like her in season 4 as well. They actually have like 5 new people in season 4, which is crazy. It feels very crammed, but it's interesting. So yeah, she's doing the fashion thing. She mentioned wanting to do that so many times in interviews over the years. Yeah, like I remember her even mention. I remember Amanda Bynes on an interview with it wasn't Ellen she mentioned this on. It was Rachel Ray. I remember her on Rachel Ray in 2007, even like showing off like shirts she was doing. I think it was. And this was 20 years ago. So I hope she launches a line that takes off and everything, because I can tell it's been a dream of her. Even on what do you call it? Even on the Howie, okay, this is the throwback, but Howie Mandel had a talk show back in the late 90s and 2000s. And I remember even on the Howie Mandel show, I believe it was that show, and she did an interview either in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and she was talking about how she likes to draw fashion, she likes to draw dresses and stuff, and she wants to be a fashion designer one day. Like that's has always been there, which is interesting, which has been interesting to me. So she keeps doing it, she keeps going back to it, and she keeps manifesting her fashion um, designer dreams, and which I think is good for her if she really wants to do it, because she clearly has a passion for it. Um, oh wait, Tez, what was she? Are you saying for who was forced into, like, Amanda was forced into acting or fashion, or was it Trisha, or I don't know if you can clarify that with me. Um, but as I was saying, what was I gonna say? So yeah, I'm just doing the all that season 4 retrospective, but yeah, the season those are pretty much my pointers from season 3. They look much older at this point. Keenan and Kel are doing Keenan and Kel, so I'm noticing that they're starting to be more absent as the seasons go on, and that's, I think, a big part of why they add more players into season 4, so Keenan and Kel can just focus on the Keenan and Kel show. So that's what I got from that. What else is there? And then I want to also, is there any other questions regarding all that before I have one more thing I want to talk about today? And it's just something I want to bring up that we're going to be talking about on this channel, but this is going to be on the Patreon. So if you didn't know, again, I'm going to talk about the Patreon. I'm going to put the link here. But in case you didn't know, I am doing a Patreon. Let me just get the window. We're doing this better. We're doing this so much better now. And then the window, and then, okay, there we go. Let me just size this so this can just, okay, let me center that. Perfect. Okay, so as you guys know, I am doing a Patreon. I put the links in I put it in there if you want to sign up for it. I'm going to be doing exclusive content on it. I'm going to do requests for content if you guys want me to go over or deep dive into something very specific. This is the page you go to. You have to be signed up to be a membership to do that, to do the requests. But you can join the Patreon for free as of now. And I will have those options open, but I'm going to also put on the Patreon exclusive asks and stuff if you guys want to, and everything. If there's specific topics you want me to talk about or anything like that, feel free to go ahead. And then, yeah, so if you want to do that, and also if you want to be a lovely, lovely person, you can donate to the PayPal right here. This is my PayPal and stuff, so feel free to donate to that and everything. And yeah, that is what I want to say, and I'll put the link to the PayPal here and everything. This is random, but have you ever noticed that Sunny with a Chance, So Random, is a spoof of All That? It even has 2 of the same writers on that. My mom pointed it out to me when I was a teen. I thought she was nuts, but the more I watched, the more she seemed correct. I actually picked that up a lot with the So Random and the spoof and all that. I know exactly what you're talking about with Sunny with a Chance, of it being a spoof on All That and everything. Yeah, that is very true, because it's like I can definitely see that being those two being similar things. Um Hi Zero Infinity, welcome. I'm doing well. How about yourself? We're doing great. We went over a lot of things. We went over Davy Chase. We're going over the All That season 3 retrospective. I'm talking about my Patreon. We have a Patreon now. We have a PayPal now. Um, but to your question, Linda, oh, she was okay. You were talking about Trisha. Oh yeah, Trisha could have been forced. Um, okay, got you, Tez. Okay, yeah, I definitely could see. I could see what you're talking about. Um, but yeah, I feel yeah, so Sunny with a Chance and the So Random definitely was a spoof on All That. They had a similar Sunny with a Chance, that show felt like it could be a Nickelodeon show, truthfully. And what was also interesting, it's I did not know about the two writers. Who are the two writers that you're talking about? Linda, specifically for Sunny with a Chance, that were writing for All That. Because what's funny about Sunny with a Chance is Sunny came in 2007, 2006, 2007. The original concept for iCarly, you guys all know Dan Schneider's iCarly, right? The original concept for that was um, also, I'm just gonna pull this out just to see. Like, I wonder if my thing will work now. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna see if my. I just want to see if my mics are gonna work now. While I'm getting this set up. But the funny thing about Sunny with a Chance is the iCarly's original concept was exactly Sunny with a Chance. So iCarly's about kids having a web show, but originally the concept was a kid girl having a TV show. So it's funny how they took that concept that Dan Schneider created, and I wonder where he got that concept from, to be quite honest with you, because that doesn't seem like it. I'm not gonna say it just came from him, but it sounds like something. It sounds like something that would have came somewhere else. Just my opinion, just from what I know, just from what people in Burbank, California have told me. I'm not gonna say, but if you know, you know. Let me just see here. I'm plugging this in. I'm just gonna try the mics one more time. But yeah, like I want to okay, these might work now. Okay, great. Can you guys hear me better now? Because I plugged in the mic. Just let me know if you can hear me better. Um, but yeah, Sunny with a Chances was originally the original concept for iCarly. Kevin Koplo and Heath Seifert. Okay, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense because Kevin Koplo is the stage manager that we see that says 5 minutes and all that. That is Kevin Koplo. So that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense that he took. Kevin Koplo is a good actor. Is like there. I don't know much about Kevin Koplo, but I haven't. But he seems like one of those people that is just very chill. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, welcome Supernova girl. Welcome to the chat. I'm glad you can hear me. Um it must have been talked about. Like they must have talked about it with each other at some point and met with each other and then they just decided to use it. But you know what's also interesting about that is that funny thing about iCarly and Sunny with a Chance. There was an iCarly episode called I Take on Dingo, which was about we're getting really off topic now, but I just want to answer your guys' questions. Um, but okay, hi Zero Infinity. Okay, you guys can all hear me better now. That's great. But what's so strange about those ideas about um I Take on Dingo was an episode of iCarly where they parodied Disney Channel. It was like mocking Disney Channel's taking ideas from Nickelodeon essentially. It was like the ultimate Disney Channel versus Nickelodeon thing at the time. Um I and it was really like okay, that I Take on Dingo episode came out in like I think 2009, 2010. So that must have been when Sunny with a Chance came out and everything. Um So that's really interesting. That is really, really interesting. Okay, people are coming now. Okay, great. I think because now I got a mic, everyone can hear me. That's so great. I'm glad that. It's like A Bug's Life versus Ants coming out at the same time. You're right, they must exchange him. So Dan Schneider, also something to note, and I did this in a thread on Twitter. If you look up ObscureNick Danielle Monet thread, I spoke about, and this is information I got. I'm just gonna say this, and this is someone that worked in that in the confines of Dan Schneider that told me this, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but this is how I know it's fact: is that he did not have a good relationship with Daniela Monet from Victorious, and he began writing her character in different ways because and that we found out that and Daniela Monet admitted to this, that she found that she reported Dan Schneider to the network for having something inappropriate in his shows, and that's where the downfall of their relationship happened. And it was in season 1 of Victorious. You go to season 2 and season 3, and there's a lot of episodes where Daniela Monet's character Trina is getting like whacked, hit, or it's either she's getting like really brutalized in the show, or she's not even present in the show. She's like an afterthought in the show. She's getting written out. And as a lot of that's a pattern with him, is if he's pissed at you, he's gonna write you a certain way, and it's called revenge writing. And so he must have been mad at Kevin Koplo and Heath Seifert to be even like taking his ideas. How dare you take my ideas, right? It's that sort of mentality. And I also am like, is that even illegal? But how did they even come up with the ideas? Um, so, in the first place, like, I'm like, were you guys all just talking or whatnot? So he's probably pissed that they took a brilliant idea that might do better than his idea, truthfully. That really had legs to it. So it makes sense why he made an episode of iCarly called I Take on Dingo around the time of Sunny with a Chance coming out, which is done by Kevin Koplo and Heath Seifert, who he worked with for like years and years and years. Both those names were people that wrote shows for Dan Schneider and then just moved to Disney Channel. So he was probably pissed at them. So this all falls under the same category of revenge writing, and he did it not just with the on-screen people, but the off-screen people too. And as we know, Chrissy, the Amanda Bynes writers spoke in the documentary of him doing these things too. So again, it's more evidence to the pattern of behavior. And again, I am not trying to be a witch hunt. I am not trying to be a witch hunt about this, but you are abusing your power when you are writing people in a certain way and not writing objectively. And any good boss is an objective person, even if they may not like everyone on their team. Even if you hired someone that is not your favorite employee, you still have to have a level of professionalism. And he doesn't exhibit a level of professionalism at all, and he does not have boundaries to it. And it just sounds like the I Take on Dingo episode wasn't even like a take just at Disney Channel itself. That was a direct hit at Kevin Koplo and Heath Seifert. And we don't ever see him talk about Kevin Koplo or Heath Seifert ever. When have we heard that? Like, I always hear him talk about, in a lot of his older blog posts that were around that time, he talks about other writers, which is fine and everything, but you got to give credit to the people who started you as well. So that Linda, you brought up thank you for bringing that up, by the way. I did not know that. I never made that connection, but this makes so much sense. The I Take on Dingo, because it's like, I used to see that as like it was just Nickelodeon versus Disney. That's all it was. And Dan was just throwing shade. But no, this was him directly being aggressive and giving a message, being like, Kevin, Keith, you guys copied my idea. you guys copy my idea. So it was a completely like uncalculated thing at this point, and I think that's why that was happening at that specific time. Again, timing is everything. Look up. I think I Take on Dingo came out in summer 2009. Sunny with a Chance came out in like January 2009, and um, I wonder when it was filmed. But Sunny with a Chance was probably announced before that was filmed, and he probably heard about it regardless of if it was out or not. So we really uncovered something with that there. But yeah, All That and Sunny with a Chance are very similar. And then Sunny with a Chance had the same writers as All That. So that's very interesting. Um, I'm really good, Supernova. Thank you for the love. Thank you for being here. Hi, Sierra Van. I want to give a shout out to Sierra because she was the one who gave me these articles um, for tonight with the Daveigh chase. I went over your articles, Sierra. I know we have another situation that we're going to talk about that you brought to my attention. So thank you for bringing those. And there's another situation, and we're going to do a live probably on Sunday. So that will be really great. I'm going to catch up with the chat. Wow, I always hated how they traded Trina, and this makes sense hearing that. Yeah, isn't it lining up? Isn't it all familiar? Isn't it all familiar? And it was a fantasy to beat them with a butt. Yeah, yeah, literally. No, that was perfect. That's exactly what we needed here. That's exactly what we needed. And I so it's just very interesting to me that was just such an interesting, that was just mind-blowing, but it made sense. It was like, okay, another thing that makes connection, another thing we all need to take note of. I might actually, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do struggle with retrospecting Dan Schneider shows because there's always some type of innuendo, and I've said this on the video itself that I say that. Um, but but because it's like, I don't want to watch some minor get innuendoed. I don't want to say the word, but you guys know what I mean. Like, there's no reason for that. And the thing is, with Dan Schneider's writing, it's more okay. Now I'm starting to think it's like other writers that are doing the work, and then he's putting in the innuendos, like he's the special sauce or something, you know. Um, but a lot of these sketches that I'm watching on these shows, they are objectively good. They are objectively good, and a lot of people are like, "Well, he made the best shows of all the shows," and I'm just like, yeah, I will say, like, they were objectively strong kids shows. However, there is a certain point with, and I'm not, there is a certain point with what I'm realizing in just 3 seasons, and I'm noticing it a little bit in season 4 as well, as I'm watching it currently, is there is it starts out really good, really strong. It's a fun sketch. It's a fun sketch that I could see kids laughing, but it's so unnecessary, in my opinion. It is so unnecessary to be just putting innuendos all over it afterwards. Like, he starts out very strong. It's very strong, but then they extend it by putting in a lot of innuendos in these sketches, and I'm just like, it didn't need that. It was much less was more, honestly. Less was more. But I feel like he got off on making content where he could, where he pushed the envelope because it seemed edgy and stuff. But no, it just makes you look weird. It just makes you look weird. It's not edgy. And I get, for immature teens that is considered edgy, but when you look at these through adult eyes, these are not I would not show these to my kids. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I would not show them to my kids at all. So I would not. So yeah, like, it's just not it. But there are some stuff that I do give a lot of good things, and I give good, the bad, the everything with this. So So it's a little bit of everything. Um, Drake Spell's assault case on Brian's Peck was only made public after 20 years. Yeah, it was after 20 years. 20 year it took 20 years to do that. And who knows what else is being covered right now, because there could be other things that if that was being covered, then even though there was rumblings of that for sure, there's probably other things we don't know as well. There's some things I know that aren't public that I have not spoken, that I've bitten my tongue for, but that are very questionable in that same realm that I just don't speak up because I'm always willing to protect people. I'm not going to just, I'm going to let people say their piece and then I'm going to follow their lead. That's how you go about that sort of thing. I had to stop watching them in full because I could feel my brain I could feel rotting my brain, and it was ridiculous. Yeah, like I what seasons were you watching? Cuz I'm curious, cuz I can only watch this like 2 or 3 episodes a night just to keep it good. I didn't even watch an episode today. I watched like 2 yesterday, but not today. So, it was like all it was, it was like it's hard to watch, but you have to really look at it, the good, the bad, all aspects of it. You can't just be looking for the bad in it either. You have to look for good things too. You can even like critique like actors' performances. What I will say about the All That cast is that they all are phenomenal. Everyone they hired from season 1 to 3, I actually enjoyed them all. I thought they were all standout performers. And I think they were, as child actors, I think they were really solid. Season 4, there are some where it starts becoming a little bit of a miss. There is a little bit of a miss, and but we'll get to that. But in season 1 to 3, just alone, I will say the actors are good. So I critique like the actors' performances as well, because I do talk to the actors as well on these things too. And I talk, like, I DM with some of the actors that have been on these shows and stuff, and they tell me things and stuff, and there's some things they haven't made public, and there's some things that are public that they've told me about. And I because I know they're watching this as well, so I try to give them some grace to this, because they were just kids, and they were doing what they knew best. So you have to give them some grace, and if anything, give them the credit if there's a good thing to come out of it. So in season 4, that might shift a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. So far I'm good, but people have told me things and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't want to show it to my kids either. I can't remember which season the dog and the peanut butter scene was. Oh, I haven't got there yet. That is like season 5 or 6, something like that. I'm on season 4 right now, but oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, the dog and the, oh wait, no, there was that was it. There was another one. I can't thought of it. That was more like season 8 or 9. That was like in the 2000s when Dan Schneider cranked it up. Truthfully, because in these early seasons it's kind of more tame. And also what's good about all that is that it's not fully Dan Schneider controlled, so it's, at least in these early seasons, there's like other people. You can tell there's other people writing here. It's not just him, because I can tell when it's just him writing, but this is other people writing too, which is good. I usually try to start from the beginning for seasons, but usually after a season I need an extended break. All of the actors have done great with what they were given. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's what I did with this show, pretty much, is I extended the breaks. Um but I will say, with me doing, and I was telling Tez about this, that I was telling him that I'm like, I actually felt good leaving season 3 than going into it, because I had to change my perspective. I had to, this isn't a witch hunt. Again, it's not a witch hunt. We're just going to be objectively looking at this. We're questioning if it's a kid show or not. We're questioning how the actors do. There's other aspects to it than just trying to get, clock certain things. We're gonna talk about the thing as a whole. you know, and I think I really did this with the All That season 3 retrospective. So I'm really happy about that and everything, and I left feeling good that I was able to just jump right into season 4. So hopefully I get you guys to season 4 sooner. Um with what we're saying about these later episodes, I am just like, we'll see if I have to take an extended break there. Maybe I might have to, but I liked season 3. It was good. There were some things that were, you know, Dan Schneider-ified, but I expected that. I was mentally prepared a little bit for that, but it wasn't like too crazy, but there were some things. I want to talk about we're going to talk about one last thing before we go. I need some water. I want to okay, I want to also, now that did Dan have full control of that, all that after show, I guess what it was called, but it was odd. You mean the snick thing? The snick thing? Um like the one with the peanut, with the snick on air dares, is that what all that after show you're talking about? The one with the, where they did the dares, is that what it is, Linda? Um a very talented cast even introduced was a young Gabriel Iglesias who continues to sell out shows. Gabriel Iglesias is so freaking funny. He is so freaking funny. And that's a later season. That is actually a later season, and that's a good thing. That was a good thing that came in the later seasons, Gabriel Iglesias, and we'll talk about him. I used to DM with Gabriel Iglesias on Twitter all the time, and he's really cool. He's so funny. He's a bundle of joy. My interactions with him were a bundle of joy. I didn't interact with him through the ObscureNick lens, but I interacted with him through my industry connection lens, which is a different thing. But yeah, that's Gabriel Iglesias is really great. Talented. And yes, Nick After Dark. Yeah, that's, I don't know if he did, but okay, so like what was interesting, I think he did because Tracy Brown, who's the mother who complained about this, who was Brian Hearns's with the dog and the peanut butter, she said that he was there, and Dan also said on the apology. Dan told on himself on this one. He's like, well, we just made sure the kid, like he was I forget his apology, but he did mention it on his apology, and he did act like he had control over it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But what I want to get to now is I want to talk about, again, if you guys are new here, I have a Patreon. So I have a Patreon. Let me just show you the Patreon really quickly here, just in case you're new here, just so we're all caught up here. Okay, so there's the Patreon. So this is ObscureNick Patreon. I put the link there. You can join free to join the Patreon. But if you get any of the memberships, you can, I'm going to post exclusive content here. I'm going to also allow requests. So if you want me to talk about something very, very specific, you can request. You have to, for the paid requests and everything in the tiers, I'm going to have that set up very soon, and I'll announce that on the page. I'll announce it in the community tab and everything. And so yeah, on here I talk about a few things. I will be posting here regularly. I have a video coming up, so you have to sign up for that specific tier as well for the exclusive videos. It's early access to videos and stuff. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And then I also have my PayPal here if you want to feel free to have a donation. It's not a requirement, but I put that in the link too. So feel free to donate to my PayPal, and I'll give you a shout out if you do donate. I don't know if I got anyone right now. I need to get notifications for that. So if you donated something and I'm not aware of it, I'll look at it and I'll have a list, and I will take a picture and I will stream it here on the next stream just to let you guys know. Anything and everything's appreciated. the thing with donating to PayPal is that it keeps me going. It keeps the it keeps me wanting to do this more and stuff, and it keeps me being able to just be like, I can do this as much as I want, pretty much. And it helps the channel, it helps the everything. And yeah, I appreciate that if you want to do that. Not have to or anything, but and then there's the Patreon. And with the Patreon, I want to talk about, so I'm gonna talk, so I'm reviewing I reviewed another Nickelodeon series. I don't know if you guys know this Nickelodeon series from 1990. And this was an interesting one. This is a really obscure Nickelodeon show. Let me just let's get the images up here. Let's get the images up here. Wait, let me just actually do this. Let me do this. Okay, so I don't know if you know this show. It's called Skate TV. It's a Nickelodeon show from it's a Nickelodeon show from 1990. And this will be the first video on Patreon coming very, very soon. And I really dived into a lot about, I learned a lot. I did not know anything really about the show. I've heard about this show before, but it's a candid reality type show. And I just marathoned the whole series. And what was interesting about this show is that it was really obscure. It only ran one season. It was hosted by Matthew Lillard and Skate Master Tate. Skate Master Tate passed away in 2012, unfortunately, so let's give a rest in peace to him. And he was 30 when he was hosting the show. But it's a very MTV Spring Break meets Liquid Television. That's what it feels like, essentially. But this will be the first video where I go on this will be posted on Patreon soon, so I'll put an announcement to that. So if you want to learn more about that, we'll go about that, but I deep dive into that. Also, Matthew Lillard was Shaggy. This was Shaggy. This guy, okay, I'll zoom in here. So this guy was Matthew Lynn. His name was Matthew Lynn, Matthew Lillard. He played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies. Do you guys know the live-action Scooby-Doo movies from the 2000s? This is Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo movies in the 2000s. So I just thought I would let you guys know about this. So that was really interesting. What's also interesting is they interviewed a guy who was convicted, who was also after the show ended this only aired in summer of 1990. It ran from June or July 1990 to September 1990, and so they ended airing in September 1990, and they interviewed a guy named Gator, who was a skateboarder. His name was Mark Anthony Gator was his name. He was a skateboarder, a famous skateboarder in the 1980s. And what was interesting about this that I found super, the timing of it, which was weird, is right after this show ended, in April 1991, so this ended in September 1990, in April 1991, he was found with murder. He was found, Mark Anthony Gay was found with murder he murdered his girlfriend, and he pleaded guilty for it. So I go over the whole thing in the video, and this was only 6 months after this was only 6 months after the show ended, and they were still rerunning this show. So I was after the fact the whole year. It was oh my god, he was just on this show 6 months ago, and then he murders someone, and it's just what is going on here? Is you remember, okay, let me bring this up. Let me show you exactly a photo, because I feel I need to give you guys a photo on this now, because or I could just pull this. Can I pull this clip in? Oh my god, wait, no, this was the newest clip. I don't want Yeah, this was him. This was him right here. Actually, I don't want to even like show this. I'm gonna remove this because I do not want to get copyrighted. Sorry. I'm gonna get you guys a photo of him. Um, Matthew Lillard. No, I'm not saying Matthew Lillard. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna show you who Mark Anthony Gator is. I'm gonna show you who he is, just so you know. Just so we have a clear understanding of this, because it's, you guys kind of need to see this for yourself, just to see this, because he was on this show, and it was like, okay, so this, okay, let me just, images work for me, please. Where's the, okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so this was who was on this show. He was on this show only a few months prior to see, so he was on, so this is Mark Anthony Gator. He was on this show a few months prior, and he was being interviewed, like, and it's what's crazy about the clip that he's being interviewed in, and you guys should really see the clip, is that he's like praising for holiness and good faith to everyone and stuff, and then he murders his girlfriend like 6 months later after that interview. So it's always the guys that you don't think is gonna do it that tries to put on this persona that they're holier than thou, that they do this. So that's really surprising to me. So we go, and it's crazy because this show is like this show is new at this point. This show is new. This show was only like this show was only one season in 1990, 6 months, and then this happens 6 months later with him. So that isn't that crazy? Like the timing of that. And it's crazy because at the same time, I wonder if it's because of this case that they didn't renew the season for a second season, because it's just crazy to me that happened and everything. So yeah, it was just crazy. So and what was also crazy is that this show was still rerunning. This show reran on Nickelodeon while this case was happening. So I wonder if they pulled his episodes, is my question, with Mark Anthony Gator's interview on Skate TV, or if it got heavy rotation, or how did the Nickelodeon treat this when they were airing the Mark Anthony Gator case, where the Mark Anthony Gator episode of Skate TV. I wonder how they treated that. I wonder. But the show went off reruns just like 6 months, like in September 1991, a year later. So it was like the show ended, and then 6 months later, this case happened in April 1991, and then the show never ended its reruns in September 1991. So it's like a whole karmic year cycle of that. But the show did you're gonna see that the show did rerun in other places at different points. I don't know if the Mark Anthony Gator episode aired again. Who knows? I couldn't find any information on it. And so we go over a lot of that. A lot of that type of stuff is where I go over with in this video. So it's a really so when it comes out on Patreon, you'll see we go through that a lot. We'll deep dive into that a little further and everything. And you guys will have answers to that case. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. Is this show on Paramount? Never heard of it. It's not on Paramount. It is not. You cannot find this in good quality. What I watched it from was a VHS quality, is what I'll tell you. I watched it on a VHS quality, so it's just like a lot of obscure Nickelodeon shows. But hello, but this is ObscureNick. I got you. And I do have a link. I do shout out YouTube channels. There's a lot of YouTube channels that dedicate to a lot of this like obscure lost media. luckily, Skate TV recently got totally found, and I do talk about the lost media aspect of Skate TV. And all 13 episodes can be found. You can find all of them, but just not in good quality. They're all VHS quality, so just a heads up about that if you are gonna watch it. But we do talk a lot of. I do talk about that aspect of it, but with a lot of these obscure Nick shows, is that I really, and hello, welcome to Obscure Nickelodeon. Welcome to Obscure Nick. It's all fitting. But I really like to dive into these older shows just to understand, because it's what was interesting about this show is that the way they filmed it, it wasn't even like, yes, there's a scandal that surrounded it with the Mark Anthony thing, but there's also a historical factor to it. The way that this show also filmed like a very, like they filmed it like a very like YouTube show, like as if we're like on YouTube here or something, you know? And I found that aspect really interesting. I love that aspect. And it was, yeah, really, really interesting. And I like seeing like how things have evolved and things how that why I like to question, why was this forgotten? Was it this murder case that of this one person that was interviewed on it? What was the thing on it? But I had a good vibe about Skate TV, and I dive into more like what I got out of it, truthfully. And it was a really cool experience, because I didn't know this at all. I've heard of it, but I didn't know about it. And I love diving into media like that. I have a passion for that. So if you guys have any media like that you would love me to talk about, just let me know. Request it on Patreon. Request it on my Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon. So I never heard of that one either. Not many people have heard of this at all. So I remember him, Matthew Lillard's Scream, right? I was referencing Matthew. What? No. Is he still alive? Is Mark Anthony Gator still alive? He is. He's still in prison. He is in prison still. And we will talk about that in the video. We will talk about what the update is on that. He's still alive to this day. Megan Wants a Millionaire was cut short because a contestant was convicted during its run. Oh, okay. So what network was that on? What network was that on, Mighty Rex? I love watching Lost Media. I love Money 3 was canceled because that murder as well. Wow. Okay, so things do get canceled and taken off air because of situations like that. So that could have been what Skate TV was, because I couldn't find VH1 Never Felt. Okay, it was on VH1. Okay, well, yeah, VH1 has a lot of obscure media itself and everything. So I totally understand that too. And it's like, it does, those things, so that was probably, honestly, that probably was the reason. But it's also crazy because Mark Anthony Gator wasn't even he wasn't one of the hosts. You know, like, I understand that for the host, but again, if it's even like contestants and stuff, then I guess there probably is protocol with that whole thing in general. So I totally understand that and everything. And yeah, so this video, this Skate TV video, and I know I'm saying this 100 times, but I know people are dropping in and out, so I just want to make sure everyone knows that this video about Skate TV will be posted on my Patreon page. It will be, so if you subscribe to the Patreon, it will be under one of those tiers, of course. We're still working on that, but please sign up for the Patreon. It's free to sign up and everything, and I'll have freebies. I'll have a lot of things going on there and everything. And then also, the PayPal if you want to donate to the PayPal again. Don't have to, but it's always nice, and I will shout you out if you have. Um, what else is there? And then there was one more thing. And then also in the description, you can look at those are all the links to other things and stuff. So yeah. But I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. Um, I think this went really well. I think this really went really well. If there's anything you guys missed, it's in. You can replay this. This will come up in replay later. But we are gonna definitely. This felt way more better to cover this with you guys. I hope you guys feel good about this and everything. Let me know if how you guys felt about me doing a live stream versus a video, because I really do like us all having like the conversation versus just me talking on my by myself, because I like hearing what other people hear, and you find out new information. Like you guys offered me a lot of new information and I learned a lot. So I really, really appreciate that. I want to thank Tez Moses for helping me set this up. You literally like saved me with this, so I have to give shout outs to that. I want to give a shout out to Sierra Van 6250, who also provided a lot of the information today. Yeah, and of the articles and stuff. But on Sunday we are going to dive into something further. I will have again, I feel more confident with the setup now. I feel really good with what we did. I hope you guys feel good about this and everything. I'm glad you guys came. Thank you guys for coming. And I hope you guys all have a lovely night, and I'm sending much love. And we will talk again soon, and we're gonna deep dive and thrive more. So have a good night. Happy Friday. Bye.